Alright, so this match between Arsenal and Liverpool was insane. So a bit of context before I showed the game's highlights. Arsenal at this point were a young squad, and domestically, they looked a mess. But in Europe, they just knocked out Real Madrid 1-0, a huge result considering their injuries and lack of depth.
A simply staggering result for Arsenal, so short on resources, so lacking in pre-match confidence.
Well, it may not be Arsenal's first choice back four, but the defensive unit that saw them through their Champions League tie with Real Madrid is kept together for the 6th game running.
I mean, that backline looks shaky on paper to say the least. Henry at this point was widely considered basically a top 2 player in the world. Before Messi and Ronaldo, Ronaldinho and Henry were the dominant forces of club football for a few years. He was maybe slightly past his physical peak, picking up a few more injuries, a smidge less explosive than he was a couple years prior, but in many ways, this was the most complete version of him. Liverpool, on the other hand, the Champions League holders had just been knocked out by Benfica. They sat in third, and their league campaign was up and down. Gerrard, though, was in his prime, fresh off a Ballon d'Or podium, seen by many as the best midfielder in the world. But on this day, Henry would show him levels, and it would end especially bad for Stevie G.
Nice bright opening to the game, I'll say that.
Here's Henry, linking up brilliantly with Ljungberg.
Well, he doesn't often pick the wrong thing out there, but I think he has done. I think the angle's totally against him from scoring himself. He does open himself up great in that side to play it into the far corner, but the angle was definitely against him there.
International in Ireland as well as ending his involvement midweek early, and he's maybe aggravated that.
Here's what I was talking about. Different result now.
Henry pulls it back, and Adebayo wastes the opportunity.
Well, that's 1-0. That's what I mean. When you're up against him, Hooper is happy, but as soon as he gets turned, there's only one winner in this race, and it isn't Sammy Hooper.
I know I said Henry was a little less explosive than he used to be, but that's because his acceleration used to be cartoonishly crazy. At this point, he was still basically the fastest player in almost every game.
After that, this should be 1-0. He's trying to look around and say, maybe it bobbled. I don't think it did.
Rivals in the Premiership table. It's Fabregas. Oh, he's got it beyond Carragher. He's in here, Thierry Henry! Would you ever have bet against him? Beautiful finish, clinical finish. Henry at his best.
Well, I don't care where you watch the football. What we have just seen is something of the highest quality. I talked about this little kid here, 18 years of age, but watch this. He waits, and then he plays it perfectly, and I mean perfectly. And how many times have we seen this guy do this? Open himself up, and then slide it with the right foot into that far corner.
I want to take a moment just to talk about Henry and Cesc for a minute, because I think they had a nice little partnership going for a bit. Fabregas always looked to play the ball forward as quickly as possible, and with real quality in the pass, you know? I think Henry loved that. Even take Henry's goal against Chelsea. Like, nice little bit of play to get Cesc some space. Then immediately he just bombs it forward. Long ball, Henry leaps like a salmon, gets it back, bang, finish. You know, from absolutely nothing, a goal so quickly. They could be devastating at times. And I think Arsenal in a way missed out on having Henry share his prime with both Bergkamp and Cesc. You know, Bergkamp was just aging a bit when Henry really came into his own, and Fabregas was still very young by the time Henry left. You know, I think if either of those partnerships really shared like a few years of their very best together, you know, that almost on its own could have resulted in 1 or 2 more big trophies.
They've got a bit to do.
Here's Henry. Perez has made a burst to his right. Couldn't get it past Hooper though.
Look at him though. Look at Henry.
Well, that's the other side of it.
Different class.
Not for the first time venturing forward. Here he is again. Henry. Another strike. Soon picks it up again. Now Fabregas unusually has given it away to Hamad. Henry. Perez.
The game sort of petered out for the rest of the half. Liverpool slowly gained more control. Gerrard came close here.
Gerrard. Oh.
Second half, things picked up a lot, and it got pretty dramatic.
It's Fabregas, the makeshift left back. It's been a problem position for Arsenal all season. Kleb looking for the ball to Henry, who skips over it, but he's got it now. Pires takes over. It's Henry in for a second, and narrowly misses.
Did you see he missed it? So that is the only surprise. Somehow they picked their way through here, but it's the pace that everything happens. It's just so impressive.
Here's Fabregas. Picks out Henry again. Lovely link up. Hopia blocks it. Falls to Flamini. Through the legs of the land. Times champions of Europe, 5 times more than Arsenal. But their domestic dominance has suffered as a result. Here's Pires. Now Flamini. Gerrard did well to keep it in. Here's Flamini. Now Henry. Is caught by Jamie Carragher. As everyone has been saying again today, he's so hard to legislate for Thierry Henry. Away he goes again from Xabi Alonso. Takes on Finnan with Carragher doubling up behind. This is Crouch. Henry, now Kleb. And moving forward in numbers, a great ball to Henry!
Game should be over. Game should be over, and it's not. Again, look at this football. It's just fantastic. Could have gone right. He decided to go through the middle. And I just wonder, did Carragher do enough? Don't know.
Here's Henry. Pires has burst into the middle and he's picked him out. Xabi Alonso got back.
Arsenal had most of the play and chances in the second half, but when you don't get that next goal, it's always dangerous, and Liverpool slowly came back into it.
Kolo Touré. Run back by Xabi Alonso. Now Gerrard. Powerhouse strike. It's come back off Lehmann. Luis Garcia follows it up in the same manner that he did at Anfield to beat Arsenal. He now draws level with them.
Well, they won't be happy. They want a free kick against on Fabregas. Wenger is furious, and I mean furious in the touchline. This is what he expects. Free kick there. I'm really surprised he doesn't get it, let me tell you. But that's why I think Steven Gerrard should play there, because he's the one player they've got that can do this time and time again. The ball moves everywhere, and for once, Jens Lehmann gets it wrong. Yes, fist it if you must, but don't fist it straight back out in front of you. You just can't do that, because you're asking for trouble.
In the first half.
It's a bit like shutting the gate after the horse has bolted, as far as Arsenal are concerned. The 2 Spanish players in the little chat. I don't know what Alonso's got him on about. He's late, he catches him quite badly.
And Arsenal aggrieved that it has happened at all because of the foul in the build-up. Here's Henry. Now Kleb.
It's a little congested. White shirts that were in the middle of the pitch there. They could have sprung Pires, but they didn't.
Flamini.
He's in trouble here. He might be off. He might be off.
Alonso has been booked already. And he's given Steve Bennett no option but to show him a second yellow, and he's off.
The last 10 minutes was crazy, so Alonso gets sent off, and then just a couple minutes later, this.
Kleb. Gerrard, oh, dreadful ball back. Henry must win it. He has done.
Would you believe it? Would you believe it? The skipper of all people to turn and play it blind.
I mean, poor Gerrard has actually done this before with Henry.
I made a kamikaze mistake by trying to pass back to the keeper. I never seen Henry and he latched onto it, went round the keeper. It's the second time I've done that to him. He's quite clever, and I thought I'd have learned from it from the first time, but I've made the same mistake twice.
To scamper back again. Oh! And Henry brought down by James. That surely is going to be a penalty.
No one needs to tell him. He has time, he has time. Look at Henry, look at him, just waiting. And he doesn't miss those. Turns around, thinks it's bare. Oh. Was Bergkamp shielding Henry?
He put his hands on his head the minute he played that pass. Henry, he knew, would finish off that gift of a chance, and Gerrard's giving it away again to the same man, and Fabregas could be in for a third, but it's Gerrard this time who repairs the situation.
Henry, for the rest of the game, went into his kind of, I know the game is won, so I'm just going to start spraying the ball around and time waste and do whatever I want kind of arrogant mode. And I love watching that.
Now Henry picks out Bergkamp.
Terrible control.
Avoué. That goal. Here's Henry, who took full advantage. Great stuff from Henry. Carragher tries to hold him up and does enough. Just a few minutes ago. And he'll become active again here if Fabregas can pick him out. And he has. Thierry Henry's away from Finnan. He's lined it up for Pires, and he's hit the post. That would have been a magnificent crowning glory from Arsenal.
Pires gives him a thumbs up. Henry's flat out. I told you it takes forever to walk back. It was a fascinating piece of football, that. And then suddenly he's alive and off again. There you go, pal, he says. Finish the game off. And that's been the story for Arsenal today. A game that should have been won long ago.
Here's Henry. Fouled by Luis Garcia. It's another card.
That's pure frustration from Luis Garcia. No attempt to play the ball whatsoever. He's playing Henry and only Henry. That's the question, why? He's got some wonderful expressions, Henry, when he gets filled, doesn't he? How dare you?
Takes it as a personal affront.
It's because you're brilliant, son, that's why. People can't cope at times.
He's got to fancy it, surely, hasn't he?
Well, look at all the players. You've seen where they all are. Everyone in Arsenal player. Look, there's Dennis Bergkamp, and that's it.
Henry!
And that's a foul. Just a little nudge in the back. He'll take that, Arsenal. Do you think they're going to cross this? Look.
Well, you can't blame them, can you?
Arsenal will be buoyant, but it took a lot out of them Wednesday. You wouldn't have guessed it today. They've given everything both sides again.
It took 3 of them to knock him off the ball.
Only takes a second to score. There's only 20 of them left. And Arsenal have the ball.
Henry's got a free kick.
Big result with 4th place. I have to talk about that with Arsenal, it sounds strange, but a massive result for them.
What a week for Arsenal!
Alright, so a pretty decent game from Henry there. I think this season is quite underrated from Henry. It was maybe less flashy, but also very arguably his best version. But Arsenal were just so mid. Not to be disrespectful to everyone else, but it was essentially Henry and an 18-year-old Cesc putting the team on their shoulders at times, especially in the Champions League. Yeah, check out my other videos if you're new here. And yeah, that's it. See ya.